So, as you saw yesterday, the engine started, and I was pretty happy. But after I shut it off, I was leaving to go get my wife and go have supper with my two girls, and I thought I'd come back out and show my daughter that the engine was installed. I went to start it, and the engine turned over, moved a tiny little bit. Smoke came from somewhere, and then after that, all I got was click, click, click. This is the part of mechanics that I'm not good at. I'm good at undoing bolts and replacing parts, and that's about it. I have no mechanical background. I just watch YouTube videos on how to do it and do it, or read up on it, or read manuals, whatever works. But as far as diagnosing stuff and electrical is my nightmare. I do not like electronics. Or, well, I shouldn't say electronics. I should say electrical systems. I'm not 100% sure on what's going on. All I know is that's a fairly new battery. It was at exactly 12 volts when I started it yesterday. I checked it with a multimeter, and it was 12.1 volts after the engine was running, so that tells me that it was at least charging. And I looked at the old engine this morning. This gray wire is for the fuel shutoff on the carburetor, and as you can see, there's a gray wire right there. That black is a ground. The black wire on the old machine is for the coil kill wire, and the red wire on the old machine is the main charge wire for the battery. On the old machine, I have another wire that comes into here, which is for the headlights. They do have different charging systems, or voltages, wattages, on the old machine, but this seems to be just plugged in and hooked up to where the old light wire goes. So there's 4 wires in this plug, and that's exactly the same as the old one, except for it's not jumped on the old one. It goes it's a separate wire. There's two wires coming from the alternator assembly. This is the plug for the tractor, and that white wire, I'm guessing, is just an extra. Like if there was a Kohler or something in here, that would be hooked up to it somehow. But I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't look like any of the wires are fried. I just don't know. So I was doing a little bit of research about solenoid and stuff and that clicking, and so I did notice that the starter only came with the one nut, and the old one had one up against this plastic, and then you put the wire and then the other nut. So I grabbed the nut off the old one, and I'm going to see if it'll fit on there. And it does. So I'm gonna try that. Maybe somehow that grounds it out, and I just got lucky on the first click. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not good with this diagnosing stuff. If there's a part broken that needs to be unbolted and then put back in, no problem. But this stuff is not my forte. I'm not trained in any of this stuff. I have no idea. I've looked on YouTube. I find a lot of wiring videos, but the machines that they're working on have nowhere near the amount of wires that this thing has. I don't know why it has this many wires. Like, it's pretty simple. It's not even an electric clutch. But there's wiring everywhere. And I have no idea what it's all for. Like, it's everywhere. And I don't see what it's all for, but I do know the solenoid has power there, and when you turn the key, this is just a ground. When you turn the key, there's a wire coming off here that goes to the key switch and then comes wire from the key switch comes back to this, energizes the metal rod in here that lifts up and joins these two posts together, and then the electricity flows through here down to the starter. And the clicking noise means that the solenoid is working. So I'm gonna hook it all back together and see what it does. And if it doesn't do anything, the only other thing I can think of is that the starter gear is stuck or caught or jammed or something. So I'm going to take this cover off and see what's going on the starter. I unhooked everything last night because I wasn't sure what was going on, and I didn't want to come back to a burnt out baby barn. But yeah, so right now I'm gonna hook everything back together and give it another go. And I didn't bring my tripod with me again. I'm just lining up the wires here. Oh. And I did learn something yesterday. You're supposed to hook the positive up first. I thought you always hooked the negative up first, but everything I saw, I hope I didn't wreck it by doing the negative first. I always thought you grounded something before you hooked power to it, but apparently, from all the videos I watched, it's positive first. I was tightening it, I guess. Guess I shouldn't have all those screws in my hand when I'm working around the terminals, or wrenches and sockets, ratchets. So, everything's hooked back up. So we'll do a little cleanup here. Gloves off the seat. Key in. My drinks out of the way. Tools off. And I just pushed the mower out of the baby barn to get a little bit more light. It's pretty cloudy today. So we'll put the brake on and it started right up. I do not have any idea what's going on, but I'm going to start it, hook the multimeter up. Maybe it was just that connection on the starter motor. I got lucky the first time. I have no idea. As far as that other wire goes, that jumper wire to the lights and the different voltages, I don't use the lights anyway, and they don't work. The connections on the lights are so flimsy that the vibrations just loosen them up, and the lights have never worked, and I don't use them. There's no reason to be driving this tractor at night. I mean, people with the bigger Kubotas and the John Deeres and stuff like that, sure, you can use them at night. You got lots of lighting on them, but with the snow blower on this, the chute blocks half the light, and they don't have any light to begin with, so I would never risk doing anything at night with this. And if you have to mow your lawn at night, then you should probably relax a little bit more at night. If that's the only time you can find to mow your lawn, then, well, I don't know what to tell you. you're working too hard, I guess. But yeah, so I'm gonna start her back up and get the multimeter and see if it's charging. Hopefully it's gonna start back up. Don't know how easy I'm gonna film this, but So 13.45 volts. Seems pretty reasonable. So before I stopped it yesterday, I was going to see if I had the belts all hooked up properly and I could get some movement out of it. And I stepped on the gas and it wouldn't move, and I was like, the belts are all wrong or stretched or something. And I realized that when the motor blew up, I had to push it back in, and I never did engage the transmission again. So we'll do that right here. bit of load on the engine. Ever since I changed those pulleys, the drive pulleys, it's so quiet. When I used to release the brake, you'd know that you released the brake because the pulleys would weeble and wobble and you'd hear them, but now you don't, so I don't even know if it's in drive. But here we go. Putting a little bit of load on the engine to break her in. I don't know why it didn't start yesterday, but I'm happy it started today, and I'm just gonna pause this video while I show my daughter. I don't think she wants to be on. So, let's see if she'll start back up again. Yep. Doing an awful lot of smoking though. About all the noise, we'll take a ride around the property here. This is the side yard. A little fire pit in front of us and a little pond and a waterfall that I never finished. Deck I built a couple of years ago. This is going to be my next big project. The base for the swimming pool. Worked for 3 years, but the wood is starting to bend, and I think I'm going to get 6x6s and put them in the ground and bolt them. Get another load of crusher dust and lift up the base a bit. It lasted 3 years and barely cost me any money except for the crusher dust. The wood was pretty cheap. It's not treated. Just wood from the mill down the road here. That area there, I was gonna build a tree house for my daughter. Never got around to it. And that area is so swampy that it'd be hard to do it. This is the ditch. The start of the ditch near the dam. All the water, most of the water from the roof comes out over underneath that rock there. Like that water that comes out there goes into that ditch, and there's a couple places where it comes out of the woods into the ditch. lift that up, the middle of the dam up too, and raise the, get it leveled off sometime. Basically, I never planted any grass here, but the lawn kind of goes all down the hill, and this used to be all like that, just rocks, but leaves and stuff grown over and filled it in pretty good. Still got quite a bit of snow. Stays over here because those trees block the sun from getting to it. We have lost a lot of snow yesterday. It was like 10 degrees, or that'd be 50 in Fahrenheit. Still got quite a bit of snow. The snow was up to the roof line on the wooden baby barn, and the snow was about 3/4 up the door on the metal one. Got to look to see the hour meter on this. I don't even know if it works anymore. Hoping it does. There's the front lawn. And the gravel driveway that's getting pretty rutted. Video and like, comment, subscribe. If you have any idea why it wouldn't start yesterday, looking at the things I've showed you, let me know. Comment, constructive criticism. I'm always looking to improve, get better, and the more you like and subscribe to the channel, the more videos I'll find the time to put up. And I may actually start find some kind of editing program and start editing videos. I just shoot them raw. I really have no time to edit. When I'm not working, if I'm not trying to put engines in, I'm usually spending it with my wife and daughter. We're actually, she's pretty happy. Today's my last. I was supposed to leave today, but they didn't have a load for me, so I'm going to leave tomorrow. And my daughter wanted to go for a walk down in the provincial park. And I said, I don't know, sweetie, I gotta get this tractor going, or at least find out what's wrong with it, so that if I need to, I can bring it to a Briggs dealer and get them to figure it out. But I got it going, so she was pretty happy, and we get to go on our walk this afternoon. But anyway, have a wonderful day, and we'll be sure to do more videos. I have a homemade drag. Once I get this engine broke in, I'm gonna drag the whole driveway and got that video, and then I'm gonna aerate the lawn probably in a month. Get that video, and building the pool frame for the ground. Get that one coming up, and I'm sure I'll have some more train videos, and hopefully got to do some maintenance on the car coming up, and hopefully I won't have any more tractor repair videos. Well, actually I will, because I'm gonna buy new bearings for the deck and stuff like that. And then my push mower conked out. I'm gonna, once I get the old engine put away, I might bring that downstairs and see what's wrong with that. Anyway, probably boring you, so have a wonderful day, and like, subscribe, and comment. Have a good one.